Hey there guys, I am the Six Machine and welcome back to another Warhammer video. In the build-up to the enormous Octarius preview coming this Saturday, the Warhammer community have decided to give us some more sneak peeks of the Beast Snaggas, and in particular the lovable, crazy creatures that they ride into battle, the Squigs. And it seems that being used as monstrous mounts to ride into combat isn't the only use for these little creatures. So let's dive in and take a look at the other things that Squigs are used for in the Beast Snaggas culture. First up in the preview today, we get a look at the new and updated Bomb Squigs. These are already a thing for tank busters and are essentially a crack missile shot at strength 8, -2 AP and D6 damage, but they have now changed totally. Now they let you, when you select a unit to fire or to overwatch with, if they have a bomb squig, they can choose an enemy within 12 inches and roll a d6, and then on a 3-up or a 2-up if it's a vehicle, you do an automatic d3 mortal wounds. So yes, the maximum possible damage has actually gone down, but for me overall this is a massive improvement. You don't need to go through the whole rolling to hit, rolling to wound, and then any armor or invulnerable saves before you do your damage anymore. You just roll that 1d6 and then on a 2 or a 3+, you do d3 mortal wounds. It is so much quicker and easier, and honestly it's much more reliable overall. And I really like the fact that you can do this in Overwatch as well, because it means you can quite easily score a few mortal wounds on an enemy unit which is charging into you and surprise them, because I mean most people when they charge into something they don't expect Overwatch to do too much, but this could actually do a good chunk of damage to them, and if you're lucky you could even kill yourself a Terminator or a Biker as they run into your unit. It's a very nice change overall, and one which is, I think, a bit of a nice quality of life change, as well as being one which I think is better rules wise overall. And I think that with the fantastic new Squig Bomb models that you can see on your screen now, we are likely to see a lot of these little fellas accompanying the Squig riders across the battlefield. I also think that, points cost depending of course, the possibility of taking a couple of squads of Squig riders is potentially a very scary tactic, letting you charge up with 2 or even 3 squads, and then each unleashing a bomb squig could pump out a potential 2d3 or even 3d3 mortal wounds into an enemy, which could do an enormous amount of damage before you've even shot anything else or charged into combat. The next use that they show off for the Squigs is to headbutt things, obviously. And we see with the gorgeous boss knob model which is riding the Squig, it has a unique rule to coincide with that very scary looking metal helmet piece that it has on. And when you finish a charge or you heroically intervene, you can select an enemy unit in engagement range and you roll 5 dice, and on each 4+ you do a mortal wound. So again, like the bomb squig, this seems to be a very nasty way and quite a reliable way to get a lot of mortal wounds onto your enemy unit. You should on average be doing 2 or 3 mortal wounds, so potentially again killing a Terminator or a Biker or even a few Incubi or Witches before they can even get the chance to swing. And I kind of hope that something similar to this comes along with the rest of the Squig riders, maybe not rolling 5 dice, but if each model in the unit rolled 1 dice, and on a 4+ they did a mortal wound when they charged in, that could add some very nasty damage output to the unit as they rode around the battlefield getting into your opponent's battle lines. And that is actually all they show from a rules front, which is a shame, because it would have been nice if they showed more about some of the other new things that the Beast Snaggers are going to get, but we are not finished yet. The targeting squig is another new rule or part of a model, I guess, that we get to see, and this will presumably be some way to improve the awful ballistic skill of the Orks, maybe something like a +1 to hit, or re-rolling a single hit dice, or something similar to that. The interesting thing about this picture that you can see on your screen now though, is that they show quite clearly another picture of the rumour engine picture that we saw the other week, which is almost certainly the Beast Snaggas Warboss. And you can see that braided hair that was in the rumour engine picture, as well as the Squig, matching up very nicely with the original cinematic artwork too. And I think we should almost certainly see the full picture of this Warboss on Saturday, as the article does also state that we will find out exactly who this Squig is riding very, very soon. Up next, we get another great new picture of the Beast Snaggas Painboss that we saw a while ago, and he uses his Squigs for holding things. In particular, using it as a Squig drip, which is quite hilarious, I think. But what again is really nice about this picture is that if you compare it to the original preview picture that we saw, this Painboss has a totally new head and arm. So whilst it is clearly the same kit, hopefully there will be a little bit more customization in the kit than I think we were maybe expecting. And whether his claws have different profiles or it's just an aesthetic thing, maybe we will find out this weekend. But either way, it is awesome to see that we can have a couple of these models on the battlefield, and there will be some differentiation between them. Finally, the Beast Snaggas love to use Squigs for one last thing that they mention, and that is pulling things. And yes, the article makes a very, very clear hint that there is indeed some new war engines coming to the Orks that we haven't seen yet, and they will be pulled along by Squigs. So again, I think this is a huge indication back to the vehicle that we saw in the original cinematic, and which again was teased in the Warboys article as their own personal mount. And as I said in that video, I really do hope that it is some kind of dual kit and it isn't just a mount for the Warboys. I would love there to be some kind of shooty variant of it, or just a version that doesn't require the Warboy on it for those games where you just don't fancy bringing a Psyker along. But that is it for this article. They are slowly building up more and more hype for the imminent Ork Codex and Beast Snaggas release, and I'll be honest, I think they are doing a brilliant job of keeping us teased, but still giving out just enough to keep us on the edge of our seats. This weekend should be an absolutely unmissable preview if you are a fan of the Orks, and hopefully we will be seeing a few brand new models and units that we haven't had a chance to see yet. My money personally is on this new vehicle, the Warboss, and perhaps, just perhaps, an updated version of another Ork unit. A very sneaky, stealthy unit. Special Forces Orks, you might say? Or maybe Commandos would be a better way to put it? But what do you think of the article today? Do you think these new bomb Squigs are better than the current version? And do you think we will see the entire Beast Snaggas and new Orks range previewed this weekend? Or will there still be some stuff left for us to uncover later on in the year? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more Warhammer content from me, but until next time, I will catch you later, guys.